Hello, everyone, and welcome to When Can We Play, where the answer is always tonight. Tonight you will be joining us as we play Blades in the Dark, a tabletop RPG written by John Harper and published by Evil Hat Productions, in which we will be following the lives of three scoundrels, three villains, three criminals, three ne'er-do-wells, as they make their way through this dark, twisted, post-apocalyptic, steampunk, etherpunk, dieselpunk type world. Where we last left off, our crew had just faced possibly their most deadly foe yet, in their deadliest of scores, as they pursued a villain by the name of Lord Scurlock, one who ruined one of our scoundrels' very lives, and we finally meted out some degree of vengeance. But before I go on any further, let me introduce you to my lovely players. First of all, of course, we have the lovely Paige McCay playing the terrifying Barnum the Cutter, an acrobat whose life was changed when her circus was burned down, with her family still inside, and naturally she of course went out and slew the very blue coat that committed the deed. Well, the ringleader anyway, who knows who else is out there. How are you doing, Paige McCay?
Good. I just got fully clowned up, so I'm ready for tonight.
She did that in approximately 3 minutes. It was incredible. Thank you so much, Paige. And next up, we have, I don't know what order you guys on the screen. I really should learn this by now. Next up, we have probably Thingama, the Leech, played by our Victor Rivera. Thingama is a demented engineer who had a beautiful academic life, and he was of high prestige until he started digging deeply for alternative fuels to the Leviathan blood that currently powers all electroplasmic devices, and has since turned quite mad at the behest of one Lady Claw, who he did, in fact, also get vengeance on. You guys are really checking off the list, aren't you? Now, Thingama is a drug-addled, demented, twisted, crazy engineer. Still an engineer, still brilliant, in theory. How are you doing, Victor?
It looks like tonight we've got a lot of options.
Thank you, Victor. Next up, we have Jacob Skinner. Jacob Skinner, who will be portraying Vega, the Lurk. I'm not even bothering with your full name anymore. You see that? Not from Pulp Fiction. Vega the Lurk, a former noble who had his entire life torn away from him the night that his father was killed in a business deal gone awry, and all of his titles and lands were stolen by one Lord Scurlock. As we've already stated, Lord Scurlock has since gotten his poetic justice, his just desserts, at the hands of these three scoundrels in a fight for their lives, which was really fun to GM. And I guess technically speaking, Vega is no longer a former noble? I guess we'll get to that. How are you doing, Jake?
I'm getting over the trauma of that pun. I'm sorry.
Tonight, we will be picking up where we left off after finally, as I've said, not only destroying Lurd Scurlock, Chip Skylark, but also discovering that Vega's father, pardon, is still very much alive. And he discovered that his father and all his men and all his underlings were under the control of Lord Scurlock for a while now. Lord Scurlock has been vanquished, but we have yet to see the true cost. In order to achieve this, Vega managed to get to a portal of sorts that Lord Scurlock was trying to open to another plane of existence, another dimension, another reality. But Vega beat him to it. Vega activated the runes around this portal, and he went through himself and was teleported out of the current time and space of existence. He was taken to a place unrecognizable, just endless stars, in which he met a young robed girl that looks identical in many ways to our Barnum the Cutter. She introduced herself as Ulkira, which, for anyone who gives a damn, that is actually a character from our previous Vassid campaign. You should check it out sometime. It was real fun. Ulkira informed him that she, spoilers, is in charge of pretty much the threads of fate and time. Perhaps as in charge is the right word, because in the grand scheme of things, who knows how much power she has, but nonetheless, Vega was introduced to the giant, spanning, weaving tapestry that is all of the fates and destinies of existence intertwined with each other. Okira introduced him to his personal thread and found that it ends up in a giant knot in the tapestry with one loose thread peeking out that she doesn't know the source of. Now, despite her warnings that things might get a little cluster-effy, sorry for the language warning, content warning, by the way, Vega decided to have her set him back just a moment before he went through the portal so that they could get the upper hand on Skurlock. She took him back to that very moment just before all the action went down, and they managed to hatch a plan to ambush this apparent vampire and finally destroy him. And our session ended with Vega delivering a firm, well-planted, probably well-deserved kick to the nads to old Papa Valentine. And that is where we will be picking up. Now, this episode, I will be naming because I took the reins on it narratively a bit here, forgive me. But this is, I believe, episode 13? Episode 13, Across Space and Tides. Ooh. All right, go ahead and roll the intro, if you want. Yeah, we're... Are we back? Man, Victor, I can't believe you did that for the entirety of the intro.
The whole intro.
Your wrist has to hurt so much.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we are live. I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead as if we are. Thing that's on you for not being in the room with me. Okay, so as we left off, I guess let's fast forward the scene a bit because we're gonna start off with our characters getting to have some much needed downtime. So this is a manor. The Valentine Manor that Vega grew up with. He spent most of his life in. Finally, the accommodations are getting back into functionality. Most of the people who are under Lord Skurlock's control, it turns out it wasn't a mind control-y type of thing for the majority of them. They were just intimidated and terrified. They were terrified and scared by his raw power. Skurlock's, that is. But now all is well. So just putting you guys in a random scene, we'll call it a great hall. We'll call it a great hall with a great table and a great many chairs. And you guys are sitting down and it feels great. And Vega's father has an ice pack to the nads. And he's sitting just looking across the table at all of you, drumming his fingers, looking at you one by one. His eyes rest on Thingama and Barnum for a long period of time as he passes over them, almost like a parent finding out that their son / daughter / whatever hangs out with hoodlums and criminals and ne'er-do-wells. But nonetheless, that is where we are now. And he says, "You hungry?" to all of you. "We've got the kitchen back up and running. Luckily, Lord Skurlock understood that we need food, so we were allowed to keep our pantries full. We can whip you up a feast, the likes of which haven't been seen here in almost a decade."
Not quite as hungry as I am in need of booze.
Oh, that's my boy, of course. And he snaps his fingers, and the very same... What happened to the butler? Did you kill him? Did he die?
No,
I don't
am
think he
still
died.
Butler snapped and Butler punched.
The butler didn't die. Okay. The butler, with all his gaping wounds seemingly recovered on his body, he comes into the hall and he carries on a tray several glasses and a tall bottle of wine. And your father says, "Thanks." And he grabs it and immediately pours into the glasses and then just starts chugging from the bottle himself. And the butler comes across each of you, allowing you to take a glass of your own.
Now, let me ask you a question. Are you immortal still?
The butler looks down at your father, and your father says, "Yeah, go ahead." And the butler looks up at you and says, "I have such a curse upon my persons. I am cursed to be an eternal servant to the House of Valentine. Whoever the current lord of the house is, I serve them." And your father says, "Yeah, I got him in a deal way back when. You didn't know that about him. You know, funny your little pranks never killed him. You were quite violent as a child."
So you did this to him, not Skurlock?
"Oh no, he was always like this. Haven't you?" And the butler says, "Quite so.
You're so much sturdier than I remember.
I jog. Would you like anything else, young masters?" And your father says, yeah, just go check on the food. I'm starving." And he leans back and he adjusts the ice pack on his nuts. "Good form, son. Bad form, but good form. So, I suppose you all be wanting to head out now? Sooner than later. But before you do, I insist you use all these accommodations. We have plenty. We have, as you can see, plenty of alcohol. We've even got a little something if you want." And he notices Thingama's abruptly joyous reaction to that. "And please help yourselves. I need to talk with my son." And he sits there waiting for you guys to leave.
I stand up, going to find the cocaine room, and just head out a random door.
I just leave her to Vega. We could just kill this guy if you want.
Not yet.
Okay, well, you just let me know, because I don't like the look of him. He looks just like Vega, and then I just get up and leave.
Always the jokester.
And while I'm walking out, I just look at the dad.
He watches you go. He gives a bemused look and then looks back at Vega. "I didn't think that would be the type you settled down with. She's pretty, if you like them pale and scarred. Experience. Good for you, son." You can tell he's half teasing, half inquiring.
You know, sometimes I wondered a lot why I am as much of an asshole as I am. I'm not anymore.
Oh, that's a bold claim, isn't it? I'm afraid asshole runs in your blood, son. As well as terrible, half-assed accents. I'm so sorry to any European viewers ever. I'm not gonna stop. All right. So
I
in
feel
the
like in a
meantime,
few years we're gonna have some kind of European viewers. They're gonna watch this and be like,
they're gonna type in the chat, "Oi! Say what?"
"Why are their voices so high?"
I hope I get an opportunity later on to redeem myself from this bullshit.
Look you right in the mouth, swear me, mom.
I hope we get a little bit of some hate mail about that one day.
I know. I apologize and then promptly do an even more offensive accent.
I don't know why you went so high with it.
I feel like I'm doing an impression of some movie, but I don't know what. Anyway, so let's go ahead and do downtime actions to get that out of the way, because I know you guys definitely need them. So, Thingama, just choosing randomly. Thingama, what would you like to do first?
I go and I eventually find a room full of the people who were like excavating, like all the underlings, and I walk in going, "All right, who here has drugs? You will not be in trouble. You will be a hero."
You see one of the guys that was sitting down on a crate. He turns around. "Huh?
Hey!
What? No. I didn't." You grab him. He's like, "Okay, I did it. I swear, it was my off time. I thought. What are you doing? That's not healthy."
He's badgering his drugs, so I will indulge vice.
Another person comes up and like holds his chest back and says, "No, let him."
That is 2. I cleared 2 out of my 7. And then when the guy goes, no, let him, then I and go even more furiously, and then I will indulge Vice again for more drugs.
You're not supposed to eat it.
And then that clears 3, so I am down to just 2 stress instead of my previous 7. So
you're grabbing random leaves and plants and just shoving them in your mouth, and one of them's like, "That's basil. That's our spice cabinet." All right, that was a really dumb 40s era joke. Okay, does that end your downtime?
Yep.
All right, Barnum.
I'm gonna find the butler and ask him if he has any electricity in this house.
He has no expression and says, "Yes." And he looks up at the string of lights running across the ceiling.
That'll do. And then I just throw a climbing gear up and trapeze up to it, and
That'll do for what, Mad? As you climb up there, and what you slice one of the cables. Go ahead and indulge this strange vice.
Doing on one of the wires.
Did I do it? No, I haven't done it yet. I got a 4 and a 6, so I take the lowest result, so 4.
All right, you clear 4 stress. Oh, and for the record, somebody in our Twitch chat bought the +1 to die roll for the future. So that's noted.
Thank you.
All right. So
and
what
then
else you got?
I think I'm good on stress, but I'm sorry. We can train and we can do what else? I'm sorry. We've done no downtime in so long.
I know we haven't really had the opportunity. You have the options of. You have options. You can do things. What are they?
Eat. Get rid of.
I've forgotten. You can acquire asset, recover, reduce heat, train, or indulge vice.
I'm gonna heal, and so I'm gonna, after I get done getting shocked, I'm gonna get back down and I'm gonna go looking for Thingama. I'm gonna find a room with a lot of drugs, and I'm gonna find Thingama. I'm gonna tap him. Hey.
I get shocked because you're still coursing with electricity. Oh, this is good. And I work on them.
Okay.
With electricity.
In exchange for that, can you fix this? And then I just point to my neck where I have a gash still from the vampire trying to kill me.
Too much necking with the unnamed barmaid. And I will tinker. Roll fortune.
It was a bit of a god this time.
Oh, even kinkier. Kink. Boop. So I rolled a 1, a 2, a 4, a 5, and a 5.
All right, with that 5, that is a medium success. You will get 2 slices in your healing clock.
Thank you.
I have a question, Barnum. Do you think they have coin here that we could, borrow and not intend to give back?
I think they owe our friend Vega much coin, which we could then borrow as well, because his coin is our coin.
Yeah, we'll ask him later when he's done talking with his pops.
But we could
They
look
both-
for it now.
Huh? What?
Could go look for that coin now.
We both look at the camera. All right, so does that end your downtime, Barnum?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So Vega, I'm assuming you're going to be wanting to clear some stress, right?
Yeah, I'm just.
All right.
I think Vega, in the midst of this conversation, is drinking much faster than he ever intends to. And that's just the natural progression of things.
My boy's got an appetite. Well, enough of this weak shit. And he pulls out a flask and he waves in his hand. He says, "Skurlock never once made me give this up. This is the strongest shit you'll find in the Isles. In the Isles." And he reaches over your cup and just pours it into the wine, and the purple wine changes color to a darker, almost malty color. And go ahead and roll yours to reduce your stress.
Yeah.
It's okay. What are you doing for your second downtime option?
Thingama!
Holla!
I hold up my wrist that's like broken and flopped over to the wrong side.
Oh, you got butler punched, huh?
We've got issues.
Mm-hmm. That stinks. All right, bye.
Vega!
Oh, okay, I see. And so I take like 2 rulers and then like duct tape and then
Nice prop comedy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, go ahead and roll the tinker on Vega's body.
Tinker on Vega's body.
Tinker Vega's body.
I love that I can hear your keyboard as you type it too.
1, 2, 3, 3, and a 5.
All right, that'll be 2 slices on your little healing clock. I filled those in on your sheet just because I had it open. So it doesn't quite drop your harm yet. You'd have to spend a coin or rep to heal up some more.
And then I whisper in Vega's ear, do they have coins so that we could all get an extra coin?
Well, I've got to talk to Father about that first.
Okay. And then I step back 1 step and stare at the dad.
He watches you with an eyebrow raised. Fascinating. That's my default for too many characters. I say fascinating every time Thingama shows up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna yell into the room, Thingama,
Bah.
we have to go hunt.
5 more
And then I
traps.
just look at Vega's dad. Slowly back out of the room.
We're the best slash force.
She just
Right.
takes a while to warm up. Don't worry about her.
I can tell.
Throws a knife into the room just above his head.
And I like to think it just like clatters across the ground on the other side. Well, what the fuck? Oh shit, I can't say that on stream, sorry.
You can now, remember, because I have the really cool noise and I don't get to use it enough anymore.
Okay,
Fuck,
so you
fuck,
want
fuck,
us to...
Fuck.
Yeah, it's gonna be this noise, like a little wrench.
Just a drill.
It does, it sounds, it's somewhere in here. It just sounds like,
All right, Vega, do you want to spend another coin or rep to heal up some more?
No. I only have 1 coin to my name, so I won't yet.
All right. So the father says, let's presume that some time passes for the sake of moving along with the narrative. Your father, at some point, he discusses with you the fact that the family business needs tending to. The fact that business hasn't been able to progress as it should under the rule of Skurlock, and now that the titles are back up for grabs, there's business to be done in Duskfall to reacquire that, and work to be done here, reestablishing old trade relationships and relationships with nearby villages and settlements on the Dagger Isles. And basically, he tells you, I'm gonna need to commandeer your friends just a bit on your behalf, but there's something in it for you. And he snaps his fingers, and into where would we be before you guys ever leave? What would be your, I don't know, like a foyer of sorts? I don't know anything about manners.
The library.
The library. Why?
Mary Poppins.
Why
It's because I was watching Downton Abbey, and in the manor of Downton Abbey, the place they all hang out is the library. So.
That's awesome. Okay. I mean, that's fine with me. I just wanted to know the logic, and I'm happy I got it. So in the library, he has several men bring in what look like crates and a few chests, and they plop them on the ground. And your father says, "Oh, I know you've got your own enterprise. I know you've got your own business, your own little crew. It's very cute. I can do a little bit to help. In there, you'll find, well, go and take a look."
I walk over. I grab a knife out of the pocket and just lift the top of the box open.
And as you creak it open, you find inside there are materials like engineering materials, gadgets and gears that are freshly polished and shine in mint condition. You see documents, forgery kits. You see fake business documents, fake IDs. This is all some top tier stuff, or more accurately, tier 2 stuff. your father says, I understand how much it takes to launch an enterprise, and I want to be the supportive father that I wasn't. In return, however, after all, nothing is free. I need you to take 2 of my men back to Duskfall, and I need you to stay here with me. There's business that there's business. I keep like switching randomly on my consonants. There's business to take care of. What I need you here for.
I'd much prefer to stay here with you anyway, because I feel like you and I have things to hash out. This is all fine and good. I'm glad you're willing to get back to work. You know, you've found use for me in your busy life. But I also
don't
need
be so
you-
sensitive.
I also need you to understand that I still hate your bloody guts. And
Hate me?
You're lucky you got off as easy as you did.
Oh, I'm lucky. You came into a vampire's lair, and I'm lucky.
Who's dead?
He looks at you and says, I've lost enough to have learned my lesson, son. There's nothing you can teach me. But as for hashing things out, it's only fair. Come. And he starts leading you from the library, and his men follow behind. They pick up all the crates and chests and stuff, and he says, Skurlock knew you were coming. He had us move your boat to a nearby village once you arrived. It's not a very subtle thing, is it? Could hear that thing from a half a nautical mile away. I hate this accent. Nautical mile away! Hey, Murray Poppins, how are you?
If it may,
Doing Dick Van Dyke proud.
Yeah, thanks.
sure you can guess how good we are at subtlety by understanding that I'm the only subtle one in the group.
I can tell. And he glances sideways at Barnum, and he's by now gotten the sense to keep a couple men between her and him. And he says, come on, you can see your friends off. And he leads you to the front gate of the manor, and he says, I'm going to have 2 men coming with you. They're going to be my representatives in Duskfall. And he waves his fingers, and 2 people walk up. One of them is wearing some sort of ornate robe, and you see he has with him a censer, as in one of those swinging lamp-looking things that the incense comes out of, one of those, and it's not currently lit yet. And another one, this bald, shirtless gentleman walks up, and he has a huge, vicious, curved sword on his side, and he has a couple knives tucked into his belt. You see a rifle strapped to his ankle. And he says, these 2 men will do you well on the sea. One of these is, I didn't name him. One of these is Bartholomew.
Name the other one Charlie.
The other one's Charlie. He's the big scary one with all the knives. These both go back with me. These both go... I gotta have confidence here. These both go back with me, roughly back to the beginning of my career. That's a monocle, do you get it? And the one in the robes steps up and says, charmed. And the other one just gives a, And he says, this here, and he claps Bartholomew on the back and says, this here's the finest whisper you'll find in the Isles. This one will keep you safe from all the spirits and whatnot. We don't have your fancy electroplasmic gates, what you have in Duskfall. We have old magics, mostly forgotten, except by such as he. And the whisper nods. And this one's just a brute. He can hit things for you. As if to emphasize it, he like puts his hand on the big sword and just glares straight ahead at none of you. And he says, go ahead and walk your friends to the village, get on your boat. But mind you, these goods, and he claps the chest that one of his guys is carrying and kind of hungs over a little bit. And he says, very illegal. I'm sure I don't have to tell you. You don't want to be caught with these by any coats of a certain blue persuasion. Understood? I mean,
Just
if you
look at
choose
Barnum.
to, it's no skin off my back except seeing my poor, lovely, dear son upset.
Are the blue ones they're still cops, and the gray ones are the ones that we've murdered?
Mm-hmm. Yes, blue coats are the cop gang.
We've been spending so much time in the Dagger Isles, I've forgotten everything.
Good role playing, Paige. Immersive. All right, so with that, moving things along. Let me see. This is gonna be a transport score. Yeah, you're transporting some goods. How's that? So the route and the means, that seems very straightforward. It's going to be to this village across the void sea, and the means is your boat, the Huppledepup. All right, so as you guys are led through the gate, immediately the sound of the screeching demons and spirits and ghosts is just pure noise all around you. You don't even see them except once in a while, like whizzing overhead like a bird or something, but they are ever present. And he lights his censer and he swings it to and fro, leading the way, Bartholomew, that is ahead of you guys. And you see, he says, make sure to keep to the marked paths. And he indicates with one finger towards a little post that has like a paddle of sorts that has a rune etched into it. And you notice the path you're following has those on either side, kind of denoting the route that you're taking. And it takes about half an hour of walking before you guys come through some foliage and you see dead ahead on the shore a small broken down ramshackle village that seems to have more of these paddles like surrounding around the village with like chains in between them. And with that, we're going to roll our engagement roll as you engage the village, because as you guys approach the village, immediately several people come forward between you and the visible Huppledepup over on a pier, and they are carrying knives, pitchforks, and torches, the whole shebang. And that's going to be our little engagement roll. Okay, engagement roll is to see how our gang fares against the first obstacle without me having to do any work. So is this operation, as in your operation of smuggling these goods to Duskfall, would you call it bold or daring?
Yes.
All right, that'll be an extra die, so you're at 2 now. The plan's detail, as in the route and means, does it expose a vulnerability of the target, him if they're weakest? I don't really think.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid for this operation?
I've already had that happen because Vega's dad.
Very fair. Any other elements you want to consider? Because I got nothing.
No.
All right, looking
Am I
like.
here? Am I there with this, or am I still back at the
yes.
manor? Okay.
Yeah, you're still escorting with them to the village, presumably.
So I'll get them to. I'll help get everybody to the boat, and then I'm staying.
Yeah. You can take them to the boat, see them off, say bye to your buds. All right, so we're gonna roll 3d6 and take the highest roll to see how it goes as you begin. We got a 2, a 2, and a 4. So the highest roll being 4, that means you're in a risky position to start with. Because Bartholomew, he remains confident. He doesn't change his pace at all. He doesn't want to stop outside the village where you see screaming ghosts and demons around you. And every time one of them seems to, it's like it's about to swoop down, it goes through the smoke from the sensor and just flies back up, ignoring you completely. Inside the village, these villagers, they look half starved. They look like they're not doing incredibly. And two of them get behind you, and they actually have a bow and arrow that they're aiming at you guys. They don't even have pistols or rifles or any future technology. But the one at the front, one that has a long gray beard, he looks at you and says, I think you've gone far enough. And Bartholomew says, and what is the meaning of this? And he says, we are no longer under the control of that vampire. We no longer take orders from demons or their ilk that would serve them. We are a free peoples, and you will leave back the way you came, And you shan't return here. And a few villagers around like give grunts and like nod their heads like, yeah, in agreement. And your vicious big brute friend, Charlie, he looks as menacing as he can. He hasn't drawn his blade yet. What do you do?
Well, be free then. We'll go to the boat over there. Just you do be free, and we're gonna go over there.
The boat belongs to us now.
Actually,
Consider it rendered payment. And then you cut him off.
the boat belongs to us, more specifically, me. Your Lord Skurlock doesn't run this anymore. I do. And under my name being over all of this, I want nothing to do with anything that has whatever Skurlock was doing it.
We don't serve you. We serve no lords but ourselves. We do not recognize your authority, young Valentine. If I may advise you, go back to your father and tell him that these lands stopped belonging to him when he consorted with demons.
I mean, they got a point. They're not wrong.
Understandable enough.
Do you want a coin?
And a few of the villagers,
I feel like
they do look quite hungrily at the mention of that. And the person that's clearly in charge, he seems to sense this, and he holds up a hand to try and calm them, and he says, I would recommend not flashing such luxury around these starved people. We are offering for you to leave back the way you came and not return. That is your only option.
I want to lean over to Barnum and Thingama and kind of under my breath. I don't think they're bad people.
No, but I understand. I have. So Thingama turns around and steps up to the crowd. This man does not speak for you. We offer you resources, and he, being the selfish one, says no. We just want to help, and we will be gone. And I would like to sway the crowd.
You sway that crowd. This is going to be a risky standard.
Love that. Much smoother with your words than that was. Thank you.
Yes. Risky, standard. Now I have 2 level 1 harms, so that makes that standard into limited, but I had Barnum suggest the coin, so would that assist me in some way?
I'll say if you legitimately sacrifice a coin, that'll upgrade it an effect level. As in if you actually give them the coin.
Charlie and Bartholomew. Pay up. Pay up, Charlie and Bartholomew. Hold on 2 seconds.
I don't have any money with me. I left everything I have back at the manor. How about you? And he looks at Charlie, who says, no.
Give them something. You have something.
He sounds like the porcupine from Chicken Little.
Oh, I forgot about that. That was a core memory you just unlocked.
Unlocked achievement. But also, someone bought a +1 or -1 to die roll for the future.
Yes.
Should I cash in now?
That will be yes.
Cool. So, standard, no, risky, limited. The goons aren't paying, but I will have an extra bonus die. Unless, yeah.
What kind of
If somebody else has a way that you can think to increase this effect, speak now, forever hold your position.
nice.
See what I did there?
Nice.
Thanks.
You said the effect is standard right now?
right
yes,
now?
but with Thingama's injuries, it goes down to limited.
So you only have a limited effect.
Yes.
Ugh, I have 4 stress.
Well,
You're staying here though, so you can feel the stress.
you
You're
can
going with us.
Yeah, if you take 2 stress, you can increase his effect.
You're gonna go chill in
Okay.
the castle with your dad.
Okay. Got it. I'll take 2 stress. And I literally just had the dumbest idea I've ever had in my entire life, but I'm
Love
going to
it.
commit to it because
Yes.
I don't know.
You've had
what-
dumber. Go on.
It's not the dumbest.
Narratively, the way that I go about doing this is as Thingama steps up, knowing in my mind that I screwed up earlier, just kind of pat him on the ass.
All right, the effect is increased. They see your brotherly camaraderie and love for each other, and they're moved. Go ahead and just take your effect.
Risky standard 1 bonus dice, and that is a 2, a 3, and a 5.
All right, so with that 5, first off, you're gonna get 2 cute little slice. Oh, I meant to make that. Hold on. Retcon. Don't retcon the narrative. I meant to make that a 4 slice block.
Oh, that's okay, then, as long as you didn't mean to make it harder.
Yes, I meant to make it 12.
Yeah.
These villagers are swole AF.
We just killed a vampire, so I ain't scared.
All right, nonetheless, you get 2 slices. It's only 4 because these are indeed starved, under-resourced villagers. Your crew currently could totally take them. But nonetheless, a few of them mutter amongst themselves, and they say, one of them yells, "Well, what are you gonna give us?" And the one in charge shoots him a dirty look, and then says, "What will you give us?"
We have a doctor, but you can't have him, but you could borrow him for a second.
We lost our doctor to the Valentine Manor when Skurlock took over. Very well, if you can provide aid to those among us that are sick, then we may allow you to proceed. And Bartholomew says, "This is ridiculous.
Shut up, Bartholomew.
We owe these people nothing. They owe us. We distracted the Lord Skurlock from ever coming upon them, and they act like we have to give them something for passage in our own lands."
You're not giving them anything. Why don't you shut up and go get on the boat or get back to the manor? We don't care either way.
You have a sharp tongue, little girl.
I'm gonna get out my knife. I have sharper things.
As do I. And he pulls aside his cloak, and he has in his belt a stick.
Nice.
Firewood?
Oh, yes. You could call it that. Try me. And the Charlie puts a big, meaty hand on Bartholomew's back and says, "No." And Bartholomew, "You're always right, Charlie. All right, just do what you have to get these people out of our way."
Thingama's walking towards the villagers. I found a little package of 500 staples in that manor. Make a line here.
And immediately some of the villagers do start limping forward. They do have wounds, injuries, but the person in charge looks at you and says, "Our problems are more of that of illness. Do you have any remedies or any medicines that you could provide for us?"
I know it's unorthodox, but I would just trust him if I were you.
Very well, if we must. So go ahead and roll your tinker roll to help these people. It'll be a controlled, honestly, controlled limited, realistically. You're gonna staple these sick people.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to say that I have some medicines tucked away, and that's how I help the effect be better. I'll take 2 stress.
Oh, you mean flashback style? Okay. Oh, right. Increase the effect. Wonderful. Oh, and since this is a score, by the way, don't forget to pick out your loads for your inventory.
Mm.
But that works great. You have some medicines. Perhaps you stole them from Lord Valentine's manor because he had it coming. Da-da. And all right, so Thingama, go ahead and make a controlled standard.
Control standard. It says for my physic or special ability, it says everyone in your crew gets +1 die to their healing treatment rolls. Technically, these villagers are not part of the crew.
Correct.
Okay, so it's my normal just 4 tinkerer. So that is controlled and then standard. You just said yes.
Yes, and don't forget you do have an extra die.
Yes, an extra die has been bought. Thank you, chat. So, an extra die, boom. And that is a 2, a 3, a 3, a 4, and a 5.
2, a 3, a 3, a 4, 5, 5. Okay, so with that 5, luckily for you, that is enough to fill out the clock. The villagers, you hear screaming coming from the building where Thingama is doing his work.
What?
And you hear a voice going, "Oh my God, the pain! It's unbearable!" And then someone walks out going, "I feel amazing. This guy's
While that's
great."
happening, I have some children I found, and I go, "Ah, do you guys like puppets?"
And the child says, "Yeah, we like puppets." And a few more children start gathering around. It's not a big population of children, about 4 of them, but nonetheless, they all watch and they clap and they dance and smile. And one of the mothers, oh, go on.
Oh, no, go ahead. No, you tell me.
I was going to say one of the mothers comes up and says, "Get away from her. You don't know where she's been." And like guides one of the children away.
And then the beautiful barmaid runs off with the clown.
The children applaud, "Yay!" And
I
takes
think
it.
as all of this is going down, I'm just sitting kind of off to the side with Bartholomew, Charlie, and the village elder. Told you, it's unorthodox, but they're good, right?
Yeah. Sorry.
You had to tell me to take something, and I want to know what it was.
What? No.
I thought I heard you say take, and I was like, take what? Take what?
No. Anyway, it takes a couple hours for all of this to occur, for all the village people to get fixed up. And the one in charge, the elder, so it seems, comes up and to Thingama and says, "I'll be honest, I did not think you would be able to live to your end, but our people do thank you." And he looks at Vega and says, "Your father and your ilk are not welcome here. Understand that. But for now, you may pass." And he waves his hands and the villagers get out of the way of the pier. And you see the beautiful hubbledy-pup that's actually started rusting quite a bit from the seawater.
Oh, she's blushing.
And you see the endless star-speckled void sea meeting with the starry night dead ahead of you. The fog is really sparse around here. The fog that covers the world, there's almost none around this area. Dagger Isles has been kind of beautiful if it weren't for the screaming spirits all around. But nonetheless, he says, "I'll leave you to it then." And he turns and goes back to his people. And Bartholomew and Charlie walk up to the boat, and Bartholomew says, "Unbelievable. This is what we're traveling in. I'm amazed it floats."
Get on the fucking boat.
He gives Barnum a look and he says, "I have a feeling we'll have words once we reach shore and all of this is said and done."
I have a feeling you're gonna get the boy.
Oi, play nice, children.
Yeah.
"She started it." And he gets on the boat, and Charlie follows close behind, looking straight ahead. He shows no emotions to any of you whatsoever. And they clamber onto the boat. You can hear it from where you're standing, like creaking under his feet. Meanwhile, you three on the shore, looking at each other. This is the last time you'll see Vega for a little while.
Well, your dad sucks.
Don't like it much, do you?
No.
It's okay. Me neither.
Are you sure you don't want us to just kill him for you?
Well, I think he's got something useful in it for us. If nothing else, I can get a good deal out of it. I'd like to see what he has to say. He is my dad, after all.
Could you at least get him to treat these people better?
I've got to figure out what's going on with the situation. I have no idea what he did. I'll ask around. I'll talk to him. But more than likely, I'll be coming back around with some gadgets. And possibly a few neat-looking blades.
And some
And
gold.
obviously, the coin.
Wait, hold on. Where's Rosalind? Where the fuck is Rosalind?
She's in the manor.
Okay, she's not coming with us? Okay, sorry. That was an out of character question. I just remembered she existed and we didn't know where she was.
I loved Jake's in-character handling of it. That was awesome.
Okay, great. All right, well, I think you need to deal with this erupting volcano. And then I look over at Thingama.
For anyone who's ever just listening, right now Victor's been scrunching his face and crying for like 3 minutes.
I love the show. So Thingama reaches into one of his leather apron pockets and holds out 2 little mechanical hexagons, silvery with holes in the middle, and then he goes, "These are because your father doesn't have any anymore." And then I dump out 2 nuts into Vega's open hand.
You, my friend, are unforgettable. I promise to come back with plenty of jokes.
Yay! And then with a hop and a skip and a jump, then Thingama goes into the hell of the depot.
All right, well, if you need us to kill that guy for you, use those to call us because they're enchanted.
I love your enthusiasm, but if anybody's going to kill this man, it will be me.
Okay. Stay safe, and then I'm going to get on the boat. Start going before I make this ocean run red with Bartholomew's blood.
Charlie!
And Charlie stomps up to the front of the Huppledepup and he's just staring at you.
Make sure these people don't kill anyone. Or each other, rather.
Yeah. And he stomps. He actually doesn't leave. He just stands there staring at you. And as you guys clamber back on the boat, Bartholomew looks at Thingam. He looks at Bartholomew looks at Bartholomew. God, this is why you do vocal warm-ups, aspiring actors.
And then looks in a mirror. He pulls out of his pocket. God damn it!
So handsome.
Damn, I'm beautiful. He looks at you guys as you get on the boat and he says, "I thought you were all about to start making love on the shores right there, especially the short one."
Yeah. And
He smiles as if that was extremely clever. And then what do you say?
I say yeah, and then I look at Barnum. You watch it. And then I just keep strutting on in because Thingama didn't think.
That actually does get a smirk out of Bartholomew. And then he looks back at Barnum and just starts scowling again and says, "Just start the boat." And he
Not my job.
he saunters off to the other side of the Huppledepup, which is a very small boat, so there's not much he can do to hide.
I can get you over there too.
All right, so Thingama starts up the Huppledepup, whatever that entails. All your loaded goods and crates and chests on the boat now. And as the boat starts taking off, you see Vega beginning to shrink in the distance on the shore.
Just take off walking back towards the manor.
And with that, we're going to go ahead and take our break. Thank you so
I
much.
had a cute one-liner in mind.
What was your cute one-liner? Go ahead, throw it out there.
As I turn and walk away, they'll get along fine.
That was cute.
That was worth it.
That's good.
And with that, we're going to take a break. Thank you so much, Jacob, for being able to join the first half. He's got a commercial to shoot on the morrow, so he will not be joining us for the second half. But thanks for being here, bud. I appreciate you letting us get to a narrative make sense point for Vega disappearing. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us on When Can We Play, where the answer is always tonight. Oh, I wasn't good for my throat at all. So Yeah, as we left off, you guys finally set sail on Thingama's custom-built ship, the Huppledepup, across the ink-black, star-stricken void sea, accompanied only by a crate load of goods that will increase your crew to tier 2 without having to pay. It's about 16 coin worth of goods. Yeah, top quality stuff. And of course, 2 of Vega's father's lackeys, one Mr. Bartholomew and one Mr. Charlie. He's a chatty one. But anyway, this journey this journey takes a matter of realistically probably days, like narratively. So the Huppledepup, space-wise, is it like a little sloop? Like, does it have like a little bunker in it for like little cots or something for sleeping? Or do you guys just...
I would say it's like just like a 10 by 10 room underneath. Like, it's very tight.
Okay. Not touching that one. But you guys spend the day basically sleeping in ships, assisting Thingama with the upkeep of the ship, going across this sea. This sea could drive anyone to madness. The fact that there is no horizon. The sky and the sea below look exactly the same. It's just endless stars. And often you see them moving even. Thankfully, you guys are able to continue charting your course because of the star map that that Vega and Thingama acquired. So it goes off in shifts. You sleeping in shifts, whatnot, blah blah blah. Oh, were you gonna say something?
Yeah.
Go ahead, I dare you.
During this, Thingama, since we were in the library, Thingama came out of the mansion carrying like 30 books, and after when we were introduced to the crate, then he loaded all the books in there, and then he kept watching Charlie like struggle with the weight as he carried the giant crate with even more weight. So he's just been perusing the random books he stole.
Awesome. Barnum, how have you been spending your time on this journey?
I've just been practicing. I can't actually train literally, so I've just been practicing my various clownery nonsense.
Well, why not? Can Bartholomew or Charlie help?
Yeah, am I allowed to train? I thought I was only allowed to train.
Oh, downtime. Gotcha.
Yeah, it's a downtime thing.
Okay. Yeah, never mind. No.
Anyway, yeah, okay. I know the gears started turning as to how I could. Anyway, so after about a day of traveling, Bartholomew comes to you and says, what does he say? He says, "How far out are we?" Shouting up to Thingama.
Totally far out, man.
Helpful. And
if I'm juggling, because I'm practicing like juggling a few extra balls than normal, I just accidentally let one slip and it hits him on the head. Not Thingama, Bartholomew.
She hits Bartholomew and Thingama says, "Ow." Bartholomew turns to you.
Whoops.
Girlie, do we have to have a problem? Because I'll say you are getting on my last nerve. And he starts like slowly walking towards you. Charlie is at the front of the boat. He hasn't left that spot almost at all since you left the shore, but he turns around and watches you with his side eye. And Bartholomew gets up to you face to face and says, "You really want to take care of this right now?"
I just add 3 axes to it.
Oh, that's impressive. And you see him pulling his robe aside, and he said, "Last warning. Step off, or we're going to have problems, you and I."
Just add 2 more knives to it.
And he reaches out to grab one of the knives and goes, "Ah, fuck," as the knife stabs his finger and it clatters to the ground.
Step on it. Flip it back up into my hand.
You know what? I think I've had about enough of this. And he pulls aside his robe and he reaches for something. And at that moment, the entire boat quakes to the side. And all of you go skidding across into the wall. You manage to keep your footing, Barnum. But nonetheless, you still kind of smack against the wall in the center of the boat. And the boat starts rocking viciously before settling down for a second. And Charlie, he's looking down into the water. He's looking up at you, Thingama, as if expecting some explanation. And then Bartholomew is getting up off the ground. What the hell was that?
I assumed it was you. I just start back.
What does that even mean? And then the boat rocks again as you this time feel a thump as the whole boat shakes and you go flopping against the sides. And Bartholomew gets up. No. And he runs to the side of the boat. Okay, whatever speed you can give this thing, do it now. And then one final quake, the front of the boat goes flying upward. The boat is it's like at a 30-degree angle facing upwards. You guys almost skid back and go flying off. Bartholomew reaches out and grabs the nearby doorway up to the cockpit. And he actually does reach out to try and grab Barnum to make sure she doesn't go flying off. And he looks up at Thingama, he looks at Charlie, and then the boat just, it doesn't settle back down. It stays at this almost vertical slant as it starts pushing across the water. As in front of you, looking ahead of the boat, you can't see what it is at first. You can't see over the front of the boat that's in the air until suddenly the sky starts turning black. Something starts blocking the stars. And you watch as what appears to be a mountain starts forming in front of and under the boat, the waves pushing you back. And as this mountain comes up, you see that it has a bottom, and it's like an enormous skyscraper thickness, what appears to be some sort of slithery appendage. And you look both ways, and you see it blocking almost the entire 360 vision around your boat as an enormous tentacle appears from the water. It blacks out so much of the light from the stars, and you hear just a dull underneath the waves. And as it comes back down into the water, an enormous tidal wave starts pushing the boat. Thingama, what are you guys gonna do to keep from? You guys are at the point of almost about to fly off this boat. What do you do?
Could I use finesse to like steer us through like the tiny little blink of space that I can see stars?
Yes, that'll be. You don't have much control over the boat. This is going to be a tough score. I'm just now realizing. But that'll be realistically desperate for obvious reasons, but also because you don't have much control, limited effect as well.
Could I use, right before he does that, could I use a finesse to like use my climbing gear and kind of throw it to the top of the boat and try to throw myself around to like hit the top of the boat and get it to fall back down so he has a little more control?
Interesting.
That makes
Yeah,
sense?
all right.
When I said it? Okay. Sorry, I was like,
Wait, how do you mean to help with the guiding of the boat?
well, to kind of, because we're up like this, right?
Roughly, yeah.
Kind of hit it on the front side like hard enough to kind of like.
Oh, you're doing like you're using your own momentum to try and.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I just get out my climbing and throw it on the, what's it called? Not the cab. That's a truck.
The
The what?
cabin. That would be. I called it a
Cabin.
cockpit. Right.
Cockpit. That's what I was going for, but I got to cab. The cabin where Thingama is, I throw my climbing gear up there and then I swing myself over and just like hit it as
All
hard
right.
as I can.
Since you're being clever with your items, I'll make it only cost 1 stress to do that increased effect for you. Also, as you start swinging around, Charlie looks up and he intuitively holds up his hand to grab, and he starts running as much as he can sideways on this almost vertical boat, and he's slipping and falling, and he jumps up and grabs the rope just underneath you as you both go swinging forward. So that will increase your effect to standard.
For me or for Barnum?
For you, I was using that to increase your effect.
Copy. So it's desperate, and then it's standard, you said?
Standard, yes.
Okay. I will spend 2 stress to make it great.
Beautiful. All right.
All right. So desperate, great, finesse. Do I have any extra bony die?
Bony die. Devil's bargain.
Oh, no.
No, I'll give you an extra die if some of your cargo goes overboard.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one, but nah, that's a little too
All right.
for my blood. So that is a 1 and a 4. Oh no.
All right. So with that 4, someone just before the break, someone gifted another dice roll, another +1 to the die. Would you like to add that to this one, even though you rolled? It was before the break, so you should have gotten it before.
Yeah, I can I just roll one more finesse?
I'll just roll a 1d6,
Okay.
and that'll be included in your roll.
Copy.
And that made I had a feeling, I just felt it in the force that would make a difference, and I was gonna feel so bad. All right. So with that Thingama, how do you steer the boat? How do you speed up the boat? What do you do narratively?
It was a 6, by the way, for our only
Yes, it was a 6. I should have actually said that. Thank you, Paige.
And thank you all the viewers so far who's been giving us these very generous levels.
Yeah, right. Those
I think we
lifelines.
just got another one gifted, so thank you guys.
I need to increase the price on those. All right, so Thingama, narratively, what are you doing? As you see out the cabin that Barnum has just grabbed a rope, she's hooked it, and she's sprinting, and her and Charlie both jump up onto the rope, and they're swinging around, and you could tell what they're about to. Your engineer's physics-oriented mind understands what they're about to do. What are you doing here?
So I start, and also I looked it up, and it's the bridge or the wheelhouse. So
that makes sense.
yeah, I know, right? So I start turning the wheel side to side, like in preparation for when we do. Then we can go.
All right, so you do so, and as soon as it hits, water starts slopping overboard, just drenching you guys completely. Barnum, you and Charlie both slam your feet against the front of the boat, and that seems, honestly, it seems more like Charlie's gigantic, massive weight than your own, but nonetheless, it gets over this next hump of wave, and it slides down among this tidal wave, giving Thingama some degree of control, and it starts skidding side to side a bit as you see that this tentacle is forming almost a perimeter around your boat as if to like grip you. And sure enough, you're aiming for that one sliver of stars you can still see in the horizon, and you're blasting forward ahead. So hold on, you bet that I'm making a cute little clock about how much this clock is, of course, going to be labeled Leviathan.
Your second clock.
Whoa.
in this game so far.
And with that, the tentacle starts closing in. It's almost as if it understands what you're doing, because it stops and it starts changing course, and the whole mountain, so to speak, starts slipping underwater out of view. The waves are still rocking you all around, and Bartholomew's just gripping the rails. Go, go, go! And with that, once again, you see just off to your left, off to the port side, you see again this mountain forming. But in this giant mound of blackness in which you can't make out any features, you can make out actually some features. You can make out 100 pinpricks of glaring red light in the side of it, and you see all of them shift towards you, towards the ship, as this mountain starts moving forward. And you see it open just a bit, glistening under what little starlight is shining down. You can make out the white of several rows of the largest building-sized teeth you've ever seen, as water is just pouring into them. And it looks like it is indeed gaining on you. What do you do?
Thingama, with realizing all of this, is starting to cackle his head off. He is having the most fun since you have met him in this adventure. He then goes to the canonical harpoon guns on Hubbledepup, which, if you want, I could spend the unusual weapon load, which I have 6 heavy load. and then I am just guffawing as I'm going through my whole plethora, my whole tool case, and modifying the harpoon guns with both of my bandoliers of alchemicals, which have 3 slots each, and I am like using wire to connect on 6 grenades.
All right.
The harpoon guns.
Now, mind you, just for the size, to make sure we're clear on just the size of this creature, it's again, I keep using skyscrapers in real life as a reference. That's the size we're talking about of its gaping maw. So to be clear, no matter how many grenades you have, it'll be some kind of limited, outcome, but not to dissuade you at all from this, whatever the hell's about to happen. What is your plan with these grenades precisely?
So it was where the tentacle was surrounding us, but that has gone down, and then we're just being chased by the giant mouth?
Yes, a mountain-sized head coming towards it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you about to Jaws? We're gonna need a bigger boat.
Oh, honey, we've been needing a bigger boat this whole damn time. So Thingama is recklessly, I might say, like he left the wheel, and now Hubbledeepup's kind of just skittering across, and he's making this contraption, and like his hair's like slapping in the sea like spray, and he like double fisting just is aiming at like a 45-degree angle these harpoon guns, and he's gonna shoot them into the Leviathan, trying to arc and then just exploding anywhere on this massive one.
All right, that'll be. Oh boy,
Yeah.
I hate to do it to you, but realistically, desperate, limited for the sake of attacking this thing. I mean, mind you, the Leviathan hunters use warships like almost 100 times the size of the Hubbledeepup to deal with this. So like, this is a big deal, but it'll be desperate limited until without spending stuff.
I'm gonna spend 2 more stress to make that limited into standard.
Okay. Oh, and you said you were using your actual inventory items for this?
Yes, I have an unusual weapon, which is what I used for the harpoon guns when the clockwork guys were sneaking into the thing, and then I'm also using bandolier of alchemicals 3.
All right, you're using 2 of your. Okay, you know what? I'll go ahead. Considering the items you're burning for this, I'll throw you some slack, and I really want to see how this can go. And I love making desperate great, so go for it. It's desperate position, great effect.
Would this be wreck or tinker?
Your call. I would say, honestly, I was thinking it sounded more hunt-ish. So I guess that's what I should base position effect on. You tell me what you're using.
I would say it's more wreck.
All right.
Just...
You are being reckless and wild.
Yep.
This is a bit reckless. This is extremely reckless. I forget that that's completely in character. Okay, then go ahead and show me what you got, son.
Get an extra die from the chat.
And an extra die from the chat.
Wreck, desperate, great, and then an extra die. Here we go. And that is a 2, a 4, and a 6.
All right, so with that 6, this thing gets up to the boat. You see its massive gaping maw come over. It blocks out the sky above you, and you realize its maw is enveloped the boat. And at this point, Thingama fires off these harpoons, and you watch them go. They just disappear. It seems like they hit nothing. There's no ceiling that they hit. They fly off to the side, almost like they missed, but then you see them stop just short of the water as they land in some sort of flesh, and they explode in a brilliant white hot light that seems to encompass the entirety of your peripheral vision to the sides. And suddenly the maw that was closing in front of you opens back up, and it's almost like this thing regurgitates because another tidal wave of water comes out and just blasts the Huppledepup. And it just starts soaring across the water with you guys on it. And after the water splashes around you, you look back and see these pinpricks of red light. They blink in unison, all of them, several times before this giant mountain disappears back under the water. And you see Bartholomew come up. He has a censer. Its head had gotten wet, and he had been drying it and putting new incense inside it. But he's lit it, and he's swinging it from side to side at the front of the boat. You hear him muttering something. Charlie, meanwhile, has picked up Barnum, picked up her entire body, and just gently set her back on her feet, and turns around and walks away back to Bartholomew. And all you can hear now, besides the sloshing of the waves after the boat finally stops spinning and soaring across the water, it's silent, except for whatever Bartholomew's chanting. And the beast does not return. The water remains relatively calm to where you can only see the stars in the water and the flickering lights above. And the journey continues, and Bartholomew comes up. He finally puts down the censer and looks up at Thingama and says, "That was fine work. Are you okay?"
I've never been better.
That's
I've always
good.
seen him like this when he's on drugs.
Are you not on drugs right now?
This is my drugs.
Not technically, no. Yeah, no.
You could have had a career in the Leviathan Hunters. You might consider it.
Don't ruin this.
Fair enough, Master Engineer. And Charlie stomps behind Bartholomew, looks up at you, Thingama, and he puts a thumbs up. Good job. And he puts his hand back down. And the journey continues. For the next day, all is silent. No more ghosts, no monsters attacking the ship. And then a fog starts to settle in over the waters coming towards you. This is a good sign. It means you're close to land. And specifically, you start to see this light blue glow that you know and love, that Barnum really loves, of the electroplasmic fences that surround your home city of Duskfall. And you know you are finally almost back, almost done with this long, treacherous journey.
I just look at it and my hand twitches and few little sparks come off.
Before we head on in, we need to consider, gentlemen, on our way out of Duskfall, we were stopped and asked for papers. Because in this crate are documents and fake business materials and subterfuge items, could we forge documents saying that we are from Dagger Isle, or that Lord Valentine who sent us, or that we are returning from, we need papers.
Oh, don't worry. Charlie and I have ours.
Can I take a look at them real quick?
Oh, there won't be a need for that.
We need papers.
We need to forge papers for ourselves.
There are no underwater civilizations I know of requiring documentation. Thingama, you feel yourself hoisted up from behind by your clothes, and you are thrown overboard by Charlie. Unless you would like to resist that.
Oh my lord. Yes, I am going to resist it.
All right, that is going to be, let me see, which one's that going to be? Insight. To resist this deception.
Oh.
As soon as I see him do that, I don't know if he has to resist before I can say my next move.
Yeah, because there's a, yeah.
So I just click, I'll take it. All right. But did I use that one for the Leviathan? Like, we had a lot of...
Oh, did you? Wait. I don't recall.
I think the
No, because you have 3 in rec and you only rolled 3 dice. So you did not use it.
well, now, okay. So that last desperate for Desperate Grave, the Leviathans got me over for prowess, and then I gained a 3rd thing in rec. So I had 2 previously.
Oh, okay. Well, if you say you spent it, I'm not going to be the one to argue with you. I'm not going to make it easier for you. Chat does that enough for you.
Okay, I'm getting some
Right.
pops on your mic. I don't know if it's...
Oh, apologies. It's probably is. 1 second. I'm slapping my crappy XLR cable.
There you go. That's better.
Yeah. All right. So
Thanks, Paige.
inside bonus dice. Here we go. 2 and a 5.
All right, so you suffer only 1 stress as you are hurtled out of the, what did we call it? The wheelhouse? You are hurtled out of it and you go flying over the rail, and even your short arms are able to grip onto the rail like backwards, and you're like hanging over the side of the Hufflepuff, like gripping onto the sides. And
Now-
Barnum,
Sorry,
Oh,
am
go on.
I on the outside of Hufflepuff?
Yes.
Like hidden from the wheelhouse, one would say?
one could say.
Okay.
All right. Meanwhile, hold on, because this happens simultaneously. Barnum, you turn around and you see that Bartholomew has that stick pointed at you. And he says, "Terribly sorry, love. Lord Valentine finds that you are a bad influence on Valentine the Younger. Thinks you're too much of a distraction. Caused him to consort with criminals for his own uses. It's to be commended, but there's no more use for you in this narrative. At this point, you're simply loose ends." And with that, he is going to... I had a literal, actual, honest to goodness item here for this. All right, nonetheless, Barnum, I'm going to give you a chance to respond. See it moments before it's occurring, but you're in a desperate position.
Oh, you haven't seen distracting yet. Wreck and a rage essence vial and a not to be trifled with.
All right. Push yourself to do. So, mind you, pushing does mean taking 2 stress, just as a reminder.
Okay.
Okay, when it says you can push yourself, but yeah, that'll very blatantly give you a great effect. And a rage vial.
Yeah.
What does the rage vial do? I forget. Let me see.
Help strength and resistance to pain.
All right, so it'll be risky. Great. Holy crap.
I know how
Paige,
to play the game.
I know she doesn't hoard her shit. She just uses it. All right, go ahead and do your wreckery.
So I'm gonna try to basically take this stick from him and just break it with a wreck.
All right.
And I kind of want to stab him with it, but that can come later if it's too. That's too many actions in a row, I mean. I don't have any bonus die from the chat. No.
Nope, they can't help you now.
Immediately calls to the chat. Chat.
You're in here with me.
Give him a second. Just kidding. Any devil's bargain.
Yeah, I'll give you a +1, but Charlie immediately gets to the other side of you.
Do I get to fight him? Do I have an opportunity to fight him, or like, as soon as, like, if I win, does he just wreck me?
That'll be decided by your roll, and that'll only happen if you take this devil's bargain. So in essence, if you take the devil's bargain, you will stay in a desperate position no matter how well this roll goes.
That's fine. You put me in a risky position, by the way.
Yes.
Okay.
Risky, great. Yeah, your rage essence numbs any pain you could encounter, so.
I got a 5, a 3, and a 1, which is not awful.
All right, it's not awful. So with that, great. You, let me see, how can I do this? All right. So first of all, you of course manage to, fast as lightning, faster than he can see, you take this vial and you see him stab forward with it, and with the other hand, after you take the vial, you manage to reach out and grab his wrist and just point it off to the sky, and you see some sort of compression, some sort of blast, as some sort of air movement happens from the end of that stick, and he immediately looks down at you as you easily yank the stick as it slips from his fingers. Let me see. I need a consequence though. Let's be creative here. Complication, lost opportunity, worst position, harm. Shoot. What do you think?
I think maybe a lost opportunity, because as far as I know, Thingama just got yeeted off the ship. I did not get to save him.
All right, I'll say reduced effect, because this is not by any means the only thing this guy has on his person. He whips out his robe from the side, and you see him, he has several small beaker vials on his side. And first of all, let me make sure to update your clock. I'm of course starting another clock because I love those.
Third clock of the night.
Yeah. All right, and with that great success, you will fill in 3 slices of that clock of 8. However, for your consequence, yeah, reduced effect, instead of great, it'll be more like, well, it'll still be, yeah, I guess I would have to put it down one for reduced effect, as he still has many other gadgets and items he can use. However, what do you guys do? What are you doing next?
Can I use this thing that I have? I'm gonna point it at him.
Yeah, you can sense it, as anyone can who lives in this world. You can vaguely feel the thrum of spiritual energy within it. If you attuned to it, you could possibly use its power to your own ends.
I'm gonna try to attune to just kill this motherfucker.
All right. This will be as per your great success, I'll make it only risky standard.
Okay, I have 0 die in this, so this is really just a crap shot.
Unless you have any items or flashbacks or anything that could help.
I could use some kind of an would an arcane implement help in this? I know I always use it wrong.
Yeah, sure. From now on, that's my answer is, yeah, sure. And then we'll figure out how it works. And plus, in this case, I think it's an arcane implement. This is arcane.
Yeah, I'll use an arcane implement that I got from a past love of mine who used to be a witch.
All right. What is it? What is the implement? What is it?
Got a lot of stuff around. Hold on.
That's right. You get to GM now.
It's a scrunchy-like thing I keep on my wrist, and it just helps me attune if I pull up my braid with it.
That's freaking cute. All right. Yeah, go ahead. I'll let that give you a +1.
Thanks. Oh, that was cute. Glad I could do that.
+1 for cute.
+1 for cute. Okay, y'all ready?
Yeah.
I got 2.
You got a 2. All right. So with that risky position, you pointed at him, and immediately a big, meaty, or first of all, Charlie drops down in front of you and slaps, and the mic. He slaps your hand, and that stick goes hurtling into the water. And he immediately reaches out and grabs you by the entire face and throws you across the boat, and your back smashes into the railing, and you will take on top of that lost item, it's a risky position, so a little more, you'll take a level 1 harm.
Okay, what if I do a Battleborn where I can expend my special armor to reduce harm?
There you go.
Push myself during a fight.
That works just fine. Your special armor. Good call. All right, so you immediately smash against the rail. Luckily, your special armor absorbs most of the impact. You look to your side and you see Thingama just holding on to the sides of the rails. Thingama, what are you doing? Anything? Or are you just clinging for dear life here?
No.
I'm trying to decide if I should reach for you and pull you on the boat, or just let you do whatever you're about to do.
So am I Because what I've pictured, and correct me if I am wrong, is that I was thrown overboard for Hubbledepup, and like now I'm holding on to the ropes on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can I tell how far away we are from Duskwall?
You are a good, I don't know, 2 nautical miles, I suppose. You're pretty far off. Like, you're within view, but you're not yelling distance by any means.
All right. Since I got thrown off the side of the boat, then I have been spending my movement and action to open up a side panel of Hubbledepup, and I'm going to tinker so that from the inside, I will then make it go full tilt. Have Hubbledepup go full speed.
All right, so so as Barnum sees you, you like open the side hatch and like you slip inside. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, going into the innards, rigging up some stuff, Chewbacca style.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Paige?
When I see him do that, I stand up on the railing. Well, you've defeated me. I can do no more.
All
And
right.
I fall off the side, but when I do it, I reach out and grab the side of it and just swing myself into the... And then I throw out something to make
All
a
right.
splash in the water.
What do you throw out? Matters.
A manacle and chain.
All right. Creative use of items. I like it. All right. You swing inside, closing the little panel behind you. Presumably, it's a tight, cramped space. You are like shoulder to butt with Thingama, who's bent over, like trying to. You don't see what he's trying to do. Luckily, his little goggles. Does his little goggles have a headlamp on it? Because that would be cute.
I have night vision goggles.
You have night vision goggles. That is canonical. Callback. All right. So. All right. So Thingama, go ahead and make your tinker roll. That'll be still risky standard.
Still risky standard. They've gotten dust since last time I used them. All right.
It's been a while.
It was in a while.
My night vision goggles that I stole from Vega. All right. Risky standard, you said?
Yeah.
All right. I have only 2 stress left. So it's going to be risky and then limited because of my 1 harmses.
All right. If anything, it'll give you a better effect for the next attempted roll.
Yes. Bop.
Pop.
I have a 1, a 3, a 4, and a 6.
All right. With that 6, you get some things together. You, of course, you hear all the stereotypical wrenching and gear type noises. And to be clear, your goal is to speedboat this thing. So
Yup.
like the moment. All right. So both of you hurtle to the side a little bit from your perspective as the entire boat almost goes vertical again, the way it did with the Leviathans. And on the deck of the ship, you hear dun 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 dun. And that's all you know. You don't see what has become of these guys. However, you do absolutely get another little slice on your clock there.
Maybe the 4th slice, because I got 3 for mine.
Well, it was reduced effect.
Yeah, my consequence I gave you was reduced effect, so it
I'm
was one
sorry, I
less.
lost. It's okay.
Hey, it's all right. It's a lot to keep track of. All right, so what do you do next?
I'm like the Leviathan.
Especially with the ring lights in the glasses, because it looks a little bit...
Yeah,
There it
bunch
is.
of little eyeballs. I'm clipping that. All right. So what's next, friends? Oh, here, I got something. Ooh, this is fun. Okay,
Good.
this is really fun. All you hear for now is the whir of the boat and the smoke kind of filling this little section with all the sparks and whatnot. And then, Thingama, you know logically your boat can only do this so long before overheating and dying in the water. Will you allow it to do that, or will you stop it before doing so?
I will stop it before doing so.
All right, so reversing some of the things you did, perhaps twisting some valves, some very vague steampunky type things, you do so, and the boat starts to level out again.
What are you doing?
Shut the fuck up. And I wait for 45 seconds.
You hear footsteps. You hear, as there's communication going on the ship. You haven't lost either of them, but you hear footsteps running around to the wheelhouse of the boat. Presumably, they're not really looking for you. They probably assume that you fell off the boat, as far as you can guess.
From here, I can make it so that they can't start the boat. Then what do we do? I don't know. I'm just figuring out step 6 instead of step 15.
Okay. Well, if you can make it so they can't do the thing. Where is it?
I use an arcane implement to blow up my boat. No,
Yeah, we blow up the boat.
All or nothing, bitches.
Do you have? Wait, have you already used all your arcane implement? Actually.
I have. I don't think I still have my little satchel with the question mark on it that contains my one arcane implement.
Well, I was gonna say, did I give you my little thing, my Barnum, my Bernard thingy?
Oh yeah, here it is.
I wonder if we could use that and call up a little ghost and send it up there and scare them, distract them.
Last time it was a boy. It didn't really do much. We were doing like positive reinforcement that it did a lot, but it really didn't do anything.
It was so sweet. We could distract them or scare them, maybe.
No, one of them's a whisper. That'll take care of that ghost right quick.
Hmm.
Where'd you get those snacks?
Yeah. Well, you holding out?
Kamala.
For anyone just listening to this, they have no idea what that bit was.
Good. That's why you need to watch us on twitch.tv/.
Yeah.
All right. I will tinker it so that they cannot start the boat from the bridge or the wheelhouse.
All right. That honestly, I don't even know if that requires a roll. That seems like something already within your capabilities from where you are.
Right.
Just messing up the boat as towards the goal of fulfilling your mutiny obstacle here, addressing that. That's just a new standard, I guess. The new state is that the boat is dead in the water currently.
Yeah.
All right. You do so, and the boat stops moving. And you hear, "Shoddy piece of shit. Fucking idiot built this thing out of driftwood and gum."
Is that what you used?
Yeah. I could not afford driftwood, so they're giving me a lot there. So, but yeah, a lot of gum. Eckhart helps me with the gum.
What are you guys doing next?
Edwin, I don't know, because this was such a good twist.
Yeah, I wasn't ready at all for this.
Of course.
This is the only time an NPC betrayal has ever actually been shocking for my players, and I've been DMing like 10 years. This is the first time it's ever landed this well. Finally, 159th time's the charm.
Did you ever have a lifeboat on board? Could we beat them to shore and then surprise ambush them when they get there? Because I have this, and I pull out 2 documents that are fake documents for us. I took them from the chest.
Oh. I do have like life preservers, and I can kick pretty good.
That's so sensible. Thingama has he has life preservers on the boat made of gum and driftwood.
Yeah, I was thinking like a whole boat or like a scuba thing, but I like life preservers a lot.
Yeah. He's not reckless with his life. Well, no, he is.
I could blow up Hufflepuff and hopefully them on.
Well, what if we just let them get to shore and then we ambush them when we're there? We'll have a lot more ability to.
Are you saying I turn Hufflepuff back on, let them drive us in there, and then we just hide in here until we...
We sneak out the side and then get to land and then cut them off. Cut them off at the pass.
Don't want to leave Hufflepuff.
You'd rather blow it up?
I mean, that's pretty reckless. Okay, what if I turn Hufflepuff back on, let them drive us in, so... And then when we, like, finally land, then we do something from there. Like wait 3 hours after they're done, and then take my boat back.
Good idea, Thingama. Good idea that you came up with just now.
It is.
No, I like that Paige was like, okay, what if we let them get to shore and then we get out and ambush them? And you're like, better idea. What if we let them get to shore?
Let them get the shore. Wait 3 hours for them to leave, and then I just take my boat back because I can't fight really good.
Yeah, I think, and then we can figure out what Vega's dad has planned. Because I know he's a bad dude.
Well, we're at roughly 12 minutes, you guys, so let's do something.
So
What?
I turn the Hufflepuff back on.
And you hear a voice go, ah, there it goes. It must have been me smacking the helm.
Oh, he knows all the tricks.
Oh, that was
Shit.
it.
All right, you feel the lurch as the birch starts jerking off. The boat starts. That's what I get for all these fake
You're
freaking.
getting confused with the.
I can't do my real accent anymore. So anyway, my real accent. So as y'all are getting back with the boat,
Get
the
the
boat
bird
boat starts getting back inside of that dang old dock, man. You know what I'm saying? And, all right, so you're allowing them to get to the docks first, and okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys wait, and it takes like another hour for the boat to get fully towards there. And it stops for a moment. You hear the voices through the hole. You hear, papers? Oh, yes, right here, blah, 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 blah. And you hear them communing. You hear silence for a moment, and then, very well, carry on. As
They got the crate through. Good for them. They're pretty good.
and you feel the boat lurch just slightly, but albeit drifting more slowly. And another 10, 12, 15 minutes, and then you feel a bump as the boat stops. You hear the anchor drop next to you, and all is still for another moment except for the gentle rocking of the boat. What do you do?
And then we just wait here for 3 days, and then we're in the clear.
It wasn't 3 days thing about 3-ish minutes, maybe.
Minutes!
I really want his throat.
Well, then go and get it. You got it, kiddo.
Actually, I'm running out of items. Hold on.
Yeah, so wait here for 3 days.
No, I was like, wait, I used everything. Wait.
Give me another marshmallow. I'm
Nice
out.
Foley work.
And then, okay, so we're just gonna wait here. And then, like, that's. Do we want to do this now? I don't know if we have time. You're crazy.
Could we just wait here for 1 week?
That sounds great.
You guys, this bit is great and all, but we need to work the clock forward. What do you do at the clock?
Okay,
The mutiny clock.
I really think. Do we hear them exit the boat?
Yes, you do hear the footsteps of them getting off the boat.
Okay. I think let's get up the side. I have some more of my climbing gear, and let's just sneak up there. Where's Vega when you fucking need him? Just sneak up there, prowl up there. Let's do a group prowl.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
And let's just get the fuck out of here. I bet they left the thing on board too. We can get leveled up.
Yeah.
All right. So go ahead and group prowl. This will be, since you took the time to wait, I'll let this be controlled.
Nice.
God knows you talked long enough to earn it. I'm sorry. I shit on you guys so much, but I love you so much.
Wow.
All right, listen. You guys have given me so much stress. Not really. You guys are awesome. All right. Focus. So yeah, it'll be controlled standard.
Okay. So we both roll prowl.
Mm-hmm. And you take the highest success from both of you. Who's leading the group action?
What's your prowl like?
I have 3.
Well, you lead it then.
Well, it's probably a better matter of who has less stress between the
I
two
have
of you.
2 stress available.
I have 1 stress available, so
Okay.
All right.
I'm like you.
Go ahead and make that roll.
So prowl controlled. I have level 1 harm, so that is now limited. And this is me rolling. So I have a 3, a 5, and a 5 for control.
All right. So With that 5.
And Barnum rolled a 2.
So you take 1 stress for Barnum's failure.
I swear to the gods.
I'm not very quiet.
So as you start getting out of you get out of the side panel, and Thingama's real small. He can just squeeze right on out and like drop down to the pier. And mind you, the docks are busy. There are people walking all about. Barnum, as you're climbing out, extremely dexterous, you go to lean on that door of the panel, and it snaps off a little bit from the side of the boat and just falls in the water. And as you step down onto the pier, you look up and you seem like you're fine. And you start walking down the pier, and then you hear, "Hey." And you turn around, and there's Charlie standing at the rail of the boat. Bartholomew's nowhere to be seen, but Charlie is still standing just on the end there. And he's just staring at you.
Oh, hello. Fancy meeting you here. How was the drive?
Wet.
Is Charlie only looking at Barnum, or am I like not there, hidden?
Sure, yeah, he's looking at Barnum.
Great. I come up behind Charlie, and with a pistol that is filled blunderbuss style with a whole bunch of nuts.
Wait, were you on the boat or on the pier?
Pier, I guess.
He's on the boat.
Oh, Charlie's
Yeah,
on-
Charlie. Sorry if I didn't make that clear. Charlie's still on the Huppledepup. He's just been standing here. Like, you heard the footsteps go to the side of the boat. You heard someone clamber off. Apparently it wasn't Charlie. He's been standing in this one spot the whole time you've been waiting in the hatch.
Okay. I asked,
Hey, Charlie, can we have our boat back?
No.
Okay.
so with a pistol that is blunderbuss and I filled it with nuts,
Well, we tried.
then I will try to wreck him by shooting at him.
All right, that'll be risky standard.
Risky, limited, because I have 1 level harm. And that is a 6, a 1, and a 6!
Holy cow. All right, so even despite your limited effect, that's still going to give you 2 slices as opposed to 1 for that success. As you fire, he was in fact focused on Barnum. It seems that he didn't quite see you, Thingama. You pull out that blunderbuss, and the sound of the explosion echoes over the docks, even over the noise of cranes and boats and workers. And you see several people in the streets who turn around and look towards the noise. And you see that Charlie has put up his arm to block himself, and his whole entire arm, shoulder, and side of his face is covered in nut shot at this point. And he immediately runs and leaps off the boat, and he lands on the pier, and it cracks underneath his feet, and he slowly stands up, and he turns towards Thingama, and he removes that massive, gigantic curved sword he has, starts walking towards Thingama with it.
Can I have my boat back, please?
He doesn't answer. You see, he's tearing up. You hurt his feelings.
Oh, eat my ass.
And he's about to swing that sword down on you. It is reared over his head.
Slither up behind him in a finesse, and with a blade or 2, right across the throat.
All right, I'm going to let that be a good old risky standard.
Okay. Do I get anything for having my blade or 2?
Yeah, you can get an extra die.
Ah!
Oh my god! I'm
Can I
rolling so
push?
well.
Can I push
All
it? Think, is there anything I can do?
He hears you. You finesse up to him, but that part that he just stomped on and smashed a bit of the wood, you step on it, and another piece of faulty equipment gets in the way of your stealth as the wood cracks underneath. And immediately, oh wait, it was this hand. Immediately, without losing any beat, he turns around, a fist blocks you.
We didn't get any of that.
Your cable's funky.
Sorry, Mike's funky. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right,
Sorry.
awesome. So, raising his blade above his hand still, he takes his big meaty fist and he spins around a direct 180. And
I hit.
you took a level 2 harm.
Yeah,
Yes,
I got
unless
hit.
you resist it and take the probably passing out.
No, I'll just take it.
All right, you take level harm. As he smashes, you feel several bones in your side crack as you go flopping across the ground.
Gotta give a good name for it.
Since we have mere minutes left, I pull out a second pistol from my load, and then I wreck again.
All right, go ahead.
Now this back.
All right, that'll be a...
Ooh,
Risky
your mic is doing some weird
mic
Again?
is-
Shoot.
All right, risky standard. That is a 3, 4, and a 5.
So with that 5, you take out your gun and you just blast him directly in the spine. And he drops the sword and he falls to his knees and he says, "Oh," and he just crashes forward onto the dock. Because all you needed from was 1 slice, and that limited effect was enough to give you 1 slice with a success. However, with your risky position, 5 still means you face a consequence as well. And you turn around, or you hear a voice saying, "I've got you right where I want you now." And you turn around, and Bartholomew is standing there with a rifle. You don't know where the hell he got a rifle, but nonetheless, it's pointed straight at your head, Thingama. And he says, "Give my regards to..." And then suddenly a blade pokes out from the front of his throat. He drops the rifle, and he starts trying to reach up to it, and it yanks back, and he falls to his knees, and then on the ground, ungracefully. And you see standing there with a bloody dagger is Vega. And he's looking at you and says, "Well, what the fuck have you been up to? Wait, didn't I just..." And you hear a voice, "Vega, hold on!" And you see running up is Thingama at his elbow. He says, "What are you..." "Oh, hi, handsome.
Oh, hi, handsome.
I like him. Can we keep him?" And you hear another voice saying, "All right, quit wasting time. We have to..." And Barnum comes up next to Thingama and stops and stares at Barnum and just looks her up and down. "Well, I know I'm attractive, but this is a bit much."
What a party trick.
And Vega says, "I think I need a drink." And he turns around and starts walking towards the nearest bar. And all of you are standing in the street staring at each other. And that's where we'll end the session.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you guys for playing. I hope we had fun this session.
That was my favorite episode we've ever done.
That was a pretty fun
good.
one. It was a good one,
It
right?
was a really good one.
Wow.
I know. Wow. I can't wait to tell you guys what's going on, but I'm not going to do that for a week as you get to wait. Everyone else, in the meantime, thank you for viewing. Thank you for joining When Can We Play. Join us again next week, same time, Thursday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Be sure to check out Victor Rivera's channel on Wednesdays, DN Me, that is DN Me, as he plays with himself. He plays D&D with himself. And of course, Paige, did you have something to announce?
Yeah,
coming
we're
up or
still
anything?
working on Rocky Horror. So, came up with 3 Ravens. We're going to have a Rocky Horror picture show, and we're going to do some really cool stuff with When Can We Play still. I'm very excited.
Awesome. All right. Thank you guys so much. You're the best. And in the meantime, everyone else, I hope you have a safe week. I hope you have the sense to put something over your face or get vaccinated or whatever. That's still going on. But until next time, I wish you all the best. And I very, very much hope that you get a game in this week. Take care, everybody.